where we're going?
I'm not too glad you asked me that, because we're going to a museum, aren't we?
Yeah.
Aircraft museum? RAF museum.
Yeah, it's East Kirkby Aerodrome Heritage Centre Museum.
Okay.
For which we booked tickets.
Yeah.
Turn right onto Hopple Bank.
It's supposed to be dog friendly, so
Okay. Towards Grimsby, so I bet they're all a stop, aren't they, sir?
In 4 3/4 miles, turn left onto A155.
we're Wolds now.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Bit of a hill here.
Turn left onto A155.
Getting a sign for it now.
Oh, yeah.
In 2 1/4 miles, turn left onto East Kirkby Airfield.
Alright, so we're here then.
We're here.
Turn left onto East Kirkby Airfield, then take the first left.
Closed on Sundays.
Free parking.
Lincolnshire. You want us to go in there? Okay. Try not to knock the bollards over. Good. The home of 57 Squadron and 630 Squadron. And for a little while, a Swift Kon-Tiki Sport. So admission fees, do we pay the £8 for seniors?
Yeah.
Open on Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturday. Okay, free admission to shop and cafe only. Okay. Certificate of Excellence from TripAdvisor in 2015. Right, go on the bubs. Yeah, so weigh in. Handy bunker in case of attack.
Yeah.
There's an AFI menu. Keep 2 metres apart. Masks mandatory on indoors on site. Indoors? Oh, indoors. Right, I think we can take this off now, can I?
Yeah, because we're outside.
Outside. Oh, blimey, it gets really hot wearing that mask. But yeah, we've got to go to the hangar,
Yeah, over there.
which is over there,
And that's indoors again.
and that's
so-
indoors, so we will put the mask back on.
Back on, yeah.
Right, back to the masks. Oh wow, look. Absolutely huge. I've actually got some bombs in there. Wow, that was a bit of a surprise, wasn't it?
It is, isn't it? I think this is the one they take out on flights.
Is it it does fly then?
Yeah, there's one that you can book
Yeah.
flights on it. The way with my dad have got in there.
Yeah, I suppose so. These at Navigator would be at the back, wouldn't they?
No, it's sort of in the middle.
No, I mean they get in at the back.
Get in at the back, yeah.
Yeah. It's got. I presume that's an observation turret there.
It's scary view of that gunner, isn't it?
Well, I think the scariest place is tail gunner.
Tail gunner, yeah.
If this is the plane they take up, then obviously a lot of these are just observation ports. You can stick your head out.
Yeah.
We've got some wrecked engines here. Wow, that's a mess, isn't it? All the cylinders torn off. It's like one of your pictures of your dad there, isn't it? All sort of parachute buckles and temperature gauge. These are all from wrecks, presumably.
Yeah.
Peter Clinkard married Zilla Maris at St Peter's Church, Scotter, just a few short weeks before he was killed. Genoa. The brake shoe from his father's aircraft. Bus back to camp. And the Blenheims. My dad flew in Blenheims, didn't he? Yeah. Exhaust valves, exhaust inlets, the engine here. One bent propeller. Crash there.
Yeah.
There's remains of some sort of engine, isn't it? It's a Mustang. So remains of a Mustang. Good grief! That's all that they could bring back. Wow. So this was Second Lieutenant Charles Butch Moritz. So they've shown us all the history about digging it up. And obviously found the remains of Butch.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh, there's little pictures of him as a boy, and
It gives you the human side.
yeah. Oh my goodness. What a mess. Opened in memory of his brother Norman, who was killed while flying BL 655 on the 1st of July 1943. So the remains of a Spitfire VB. Just sort of mangled, isn't it? Wow. Well, even more horrendous is looking at the cockpit. I suppose a lot of this is corrosion, I guess, but well, it's quite terrifying, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So this is a Mosquito. NH11HJ711. That's a restoration of a de Havilland NF1. It's unique because it's the only existing variant of this in the world. 2 Merlin 25 and 4 20mm cannons and 303 Browning machine guns, 1 pilot, 1 navigator. Under restoration to taxiable. There you go. Bits from a Lancaster. bullets. More. The amount of remains that they've got here is quite incredible. Your dad wore those white, what are they called, sash around the cap when they were training.
Yeah.
Oh. It's just overwhelming the amount of remains that they've brought up here. It shows you the extent of the war, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
Look at this, just bits of piston and crankshaft. And surrounded feels like the remains of Lancaster's ME 625 and ND 981 of 97 Squadron came to rest with their crew as a result of a tragic accident. All the stories of people finding these wreckage. We've even got remains of jet engine planes here. There's the remains of a Canadian pilot who was killed in his Sabre. The Luft one. You've been very good, Poppy. Yeah. So restoring Avro Lancaster NX611 Just Jane. We've also got. Yeah, so this is all about the Nuremberg raid on the 31st of March 1944. And Hitler called it the most German of German cities. It was a target because of armoured cars, diesel engines, electrical goods, tanks and heavy engineering work. So I've got a bit about the route they flew. So they flew out over Ghent, Bonn, Nuremberg, Stuttgart, and back through Deck and over Reading. So they had mosquitoes doing the route finding by the sounds of it, and they had found no cloud and bright moonlight on the route to the target. On the way to the target, the wind changed direction and the strength had changed. And on the night of the Nuremberg raid, the assembly points for over 200 German night fighters were to be the Ida and Otto radio beacons. German illuminators dropped flares amongst the bombers to draw night fighters to them. Most of the casualties have been sustained by attacks from night fighters on the long leg. Pathfinder aircraft was blown off course, resulted in both Nuremberg and Lav to the east being marked and then bombed by the main force. Bombing cut 3 main railway lines out of Nuremberg, an electric cable factory, and they also bombed Schweinfurt by mistake. So the Nuremberg raid bomber command sustained the highest losses of any night during World War II. On that one night, 94 aircraft were shot down, 11 crashed, 557 men were killed, 157 men became prisoners of war, and 11 men evaded capture.
It's talking about.
And it's about Christopher Panton.
Whose brother set up this museum.
His brother set up the museum.
Yeah, they inspired Fred and Harold Panton.
Yeah. The Nuremberg raid was the end of the period known as the Battle of Berlin and followed a raid to Leipzig when Bomber Command lost 78 bombers, and another in March to Berlin when 73 bombers failed to return. Losses of that number of men could not be sustained, and Nuremberg became the turning point. The March 44 was the last night the Bomber Command operated to Germany with one large bomber stream. The principle changed to attacking more than one target in one night with smaller streams. The number of men lost in one night never rivaled those of the Nuremberg raid for the remainder of the war. Another Lancaster that exploded, causing a chain of explosions, destroyed 5 Lancasters, damaged 14 others and killed 3 servicemen and 1 civilian. And these parts were found on the airfield in 1983.
Some of their farming equipment, isn't it?
Yeah, very highly painted. There's a Lancaster undercarriage here.
Besides the wheel.
Yeah, I know. The wheels about 5 foot tall, isn't it? Oh, actually, it's a little bit raised up, isn't it? Yeah. Probably about 4 foot something. But stained glass. It's beautiful. To commemorate the Dams raid. Dambuster raid. Bouncing bomb. It flew from RAF Scampton. 133 airmen left RAF Scampton, 53 were killed and 3 were captured. 8 of the 19 aircraft returned.
Operation Man, of course, was the very first time in the history of the relief operation by the RAF. The Americans called it Operation Chow-Out. With the landings of the paratroopers during Operation.
This is Killingham.
Killingham, which is where your dad flew from.
Yeah, but it's just a picture of in 1918.
The Germans occupying
A seaplane base it was then.
Yeah.
trains were no
And
longer
then it's got a picture there.
transport food for the Dutch.
I presume that's the end of
We
the
had to live.
First
Seaplane.
World War, isn't it?
Yeah.
And with
But isn't it saying about Operation Manor here?
Yeah, which Dad navigated in. Yeah.
Jenny's dad navigated on Operation Manor, which is dropping food by air.
Yeah, over Netherlands and Belgium.
Yeah. Dropping biscuits.
Yeah.
So, dropping powdered milk. Yeah, so Operation Manor was a humanitarian mission by Bomber Command to drop food to starving people in occupied Holland. Yeah, it's just saying that the Dutch people basically were starved because the German forces seeked retribution because of the failure of Operation Market Garden when it stopped the transportation of food into Holland. Food rations reduced quickly and some people, not able to grow their own food, were driven to eating sugar beet and tulip bulbs.
the liberation of Western Holland would merely be a liberation of corpses. Churchill agreed that something had to be done, and that is how the request, or rather the order, came to General Eisenhower that he had to do something to help the Dutch.
Of course, the only easy way.
And the drop Bomber Command delivered a total of 6,672 tons of food.
How it all started.
They lost 3 Lancaster bombers during the
And he
2 collided and another had engine problems. The USAAF also dropped food by air, and this was called Operation Chowhound.
Negotiate, organise food drops over the Netherlands with bombers.
Yeah, so this again is Operation Manor.
I do recognise these logbooks.
Yeah, well, I was saying we've got Jenny's dad's logbooks look very similar.
I've got such neat writing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The Christmas menu though.
Got there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. See the inside of a radio set there. Teleprinter. So this is a Bedford WLG coach from 1931. It was the first year Bedfords were manufactured and bought new by local garage Goslings of Mareham Le Fen. It was driven into a ditch in 1947. Only had a 3-litre engine.
That's like that picture we saw earlier with them all getting out of the bus.
Oh, it's this bus, was it?
But it looks very similar.
Very similar. The rear door, well, it's an emergency exit door there, isn't it?
Yeah, they're all getting out there.
Yeah, they make a nice motorhome, this, wouldn't it? Got your ladder up to the top. Arthur T. Harris, Bomber Harris. Yeah, some more logbooks here. Diary of a rear gunner. Just the amount of stuff they've got here is unbelievable. Transmitters, receivers, transmitter equipment here. I was just looking, there's an Avo meter over there, and I had a very similar Avo meter when I was with BT.
This is all the things the wireless operator would have used.
Yeah. Aerial and anode taps must not be adjusted with key pressed.
So there was quite a lot of training.
There's what?
A lot of training in learning how to use
Oh
this.
yeah.
There's great big books there.
Yeah.
And I can remember my dad having that one about the tables in it, latitude and
The
things.
latitude and longitude tables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you telling me that you had to learn Morse code.
You having to learn that.
And we did it in 30 minutes.
I don't think so.
And then here is the Navigator.
So a lot of this your dad would have used, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? That's not the homing pigeon message carrier tube.
No. I don't know.
Might have done.
Well, charts. I mean, he was always talking about to look at charts, draw charts.
Yeah. Navigator's watch. Navigator's pocket watch.
Yeah. Remember he had a thing about watches at
Yeah.
the end.
Oh yeah. Cloud
Clouds.
form.
He
Yeah.
was talking about clouds.
Yeah, cloud formations.
Yeah.
Maps and charts. Astrograph mark. Bubble sextant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to it. It took so long.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've enjoyed that little visit to the hangar here. There's more to see yet though, isn't there? So yeah, so on we go. Trees, the memory of people. Let's have a look in one of the Nissan huts then. Right?
This is where they had the briefing,
Yeah.
the targets were and
Yeah, it's also been in the briefing room. All the maps here. There,
yeah.
over the Dutch coast. Berlin. Past Hanover. And back. Oh, wow, that's quite a distance, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, so there's a pillbox. Defence pillbox. It was just located behind the George Hotel in Spilsby in Lincolnshire. It was built in 39 to 40 and manned by regular soldiers as a lookout gun emplacement in the event of evasion. You've got your gun hole there. Yeah, I don't think I'd be fancy stuck in here.
Pushed by a bulldozer and digger, it was loaded onto a low-loader lorry and transported here to be lifted off by a 90-ton crane.
Oh, God.
Wow.
So it's just a solid lump of concrete, isn't it? Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't have a look in the conning tower. I think that's closed because of social distancing or lack of able to do it.
You thought there was someone up there, didn't you?
I thought there was someone up there, but
It's a model.
I think it was a model. What do I call it? Conning tower.
Control
tower. Conning Tower's a submarine, isn't it? So this museum is all about the helpers, the people who helped the Allies escape. Started with Dunkirk, I suppose, and carried on with the aircrew. They often arrived by parachute, wouldn't they? Bailing out of Lancasters. Qualification membership of the Caterpillar Club is to successfully bail out of a stricken aircraft and reach the ground safely. Obviously, it's secret pencils and compasses and things like that. And dinghy knife. You know, it's about the glider, the Colditz glider. Quite incredible. It was built and assembled inside the castle. Yeah. To assist in the launching, a rope was attached to the nose, passed around a pulley at the bottom of the ramp, and then to an aperture out to the side of a disused chimney which ran down the outside wall to the ground. A large weight composed of kit bags full of bricks was attached to the end. The weight was to be dropped, pulling the glider down the ramp and out into the air. It was only intended for a short flight across the moat and over the outside wall to the countryside beyond. Due to the liberation of the castle, the glider was never used. 3,500 got home safely. Could never do
There's
it.
a list of all the people who escaped.
So there's
The helpers.
the helpers, yeah. List of military allies passed via the Ligne d'Espagne. So it's via Spain, presumably. The Comet line. Well, that's a lot of people. European escape lines and various people who ran them. And people who were executed by the Germans. There's almost as many as escaped, isn't there? Grief.
Scary times, isn't it?
The War Crimes Court sentenced 21 Germans, 18 to death by hanging, life imprisonment. Perfect disguise. Digging and trapdoor camouflage. The bellows. All these little tributes here. And there's a tree here.
Yeah.
Dedicated to the memory of those brave people who in the occupied countries during World War II suffered imprisonment, torture and death, helping us to freedom. Fell on a school in Sandhurst Road. Bomb fell fair and square, hitting the school and blowing the whole central part out where many children were taking the midday dinner break. 38 children and 6 teachers were killed. Oh. So Navigator training. Oh, flight simulator, this first flight simulator there. I mean, it'll all be done on computer now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So a poppy-sized
Yeah, it's for you, that one, Fox.
pillbox there. Bison mobile pillbox. Mobile, yeah. I fancy moving that about. With a blast shelter. So obviously this is where you'd hide if you were being bombed. Yeah, just sort of sitting here, crouch and hope for the best.
That's what it looks a bit
Yeah,
like, didn't
well
it?
it is. There's a memorial chapel here. when you see the names of the people who didn't make it.
Yeah, it always gets me.
Yeah. Telephone switchboard. Something I was familiar with.
It's a 1940s one.
Well, they had the same model at St Albans Exchange.
Great.
Call and ring, so that was to call, that was to ring, and that's when you put the call through. Obviously you put it in, put the jack in there,
Yeah.
and you've got the call and receiving, so if someone's calling you use the back ones, if someone's calling you use the front jacks. Blacksmith tapping away in the corner. Fordson tractor. They are push A and B buttons. And when I started with Post Office Telecommunications, they were just doing away with the A and B button telephone boxes. Hang on, just wait for me. That's your granddad, was it? Home guard?
Yeah, home guard.
Yeah, someone was stuck in a parachute, German paratrooper. Parachutist, even. This is all about the Home Guard. So, Home Guard Playground, Edward VI Grammar School in Spilsby. Melted down your aluminium pots and pans, weren't they?
Yeah.
Because there were shortages. Boy Scouts and school children collected them. They took iron railings, didn't they? To melt down. Singer sewing machine.
Which his dad's dad used to sell.
Yeah. Some of the crockery. Ration books. And there's some marked porcelain, some East Kirkby marked porcelain. It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, the Home Guard always seemed to be a sort of figure of fun, don't they? But they would have played a vital role if we had been invaded.
My mum always said Grandad took it very seriously.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Had a lot of gear to put on and these boots, and that would take him about half an hour
Yeah.
to get dressed up.
Yeah.
You know. I've got a picture somewhere in
Yeah.
Liz down
All right.
in the Central Way Garden.
Yeah. God. You in?
No, probably won't come in. You're in, Pops.
She's in.
Yeah. What's that look?
Can't see a thing in here.
Well, I suppose that's the idea. This is what it'd be like in the blackout.
Folks, we go around these parts. It
Get-
should be over like it was ARP wardens that venture out at this time of night. Nowadays, blackout seems to have put people off. Streets are a bit more dangerous. We've ended up painting things white so that people can see them. Taking up the road signs, car lights have been reduced, even find it hard to find the ARP post here sometimes. Can't even light up a cigarette. You don't want... What are you folks still doing here? Get a move on, straight forward into that Henderson shelter.
Wedding dresses?
really none. I mean, loads and loads.
Pattern books.
Yeah. Little pattern things, you had to get the material. put the
Yeah,
thing
you
on and
pin it up. I remember
Yeah.
my mum doing that.
Yeah.
That's it. So the auxiliary fire service, the ARP, air raid precautions. With the tea in his enamel mug. Go on then, Bubs. Let's get downstairs. Right, that's it for this little trip. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, give us a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe. I'll catch up with you in the next one.